Good evening, folks. How we doing? Good. A third of the room is doing well. Very nice. My name is Tyler Bradshaw. I am the public address announcer for the Hamilton Big Blue. So glad to be here with you tonight for the 2017 Hamilton Athletic Hall of Fame, and glad that you all could make it out. Before we begin, I noticed that some of you have started eating and we haven't prayed yet, so that one's between you and Jesus, so I'll leave that there. But it is my pleasure to welcome to the podium for our invocation, Jack Young.
Before we have our prayer this evening, I'd like to have a moment of silence and remember Mike DeStola. Now, Mike DeStola was the last assistant principal and athletic director at the old Taft High School, and he became the first athletic director at the modern Hamilton High. He coached for many years, and when Larry Wood put the committee together many years ago, Mike was on the committee, and he was until his passing in this last year. So at this time, we'd like to bow for a moment of silence in memory of Mike DeStola. Thank you. Dear God, we come before you thanking you for the many blessings you bestow upon us. We thank you for this country in which we live and the blessings that we take for granted each day. We thank you for this class that's being inducted this evening into the Hall of Fame. We thank you for the coaches and teachers that prepared them, to boys and men and women, to go out into the world and be successful in their lives. We thank you for the Hamilton school system and the contributions that they made to their success. Now just bless this food to our bodies and us to thy service, for it is in Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, folks, we are going to go ahead and begin tonight's program as soon as these two ladies in the middle of the room are done taking selfies. I had to call you out on it. They have no idea either. They were too consumed in the selfie. That's all right. Everybody needs a good selfie every now and then. So glad that you're here with us tonight. One of the things that I always enjoy about this program is that, yes, we are honoring 10 inductees from previous years, but we also get the opportunity to honor 2 current Hamilton students who are going to be doing some big things as a result of a scholarship given to them. So it is my pleasure to welcome to the podium to introduce these 2 individuals, your friend and mine, the athletic director for the Hamilton Big Blue, Todd Grimm. Try to suck up and get that pay raise next year in contract.
Tyler jumped the gun a little bit on that. We're not friends yet, but we're working on it. It is with great pride and pleasure that I get to stand in front of you tonight as the athletic director of such a great school and be part of presenting this scholarship on behalf of the Sharp family, which I just look forward to this every year, sitting there with Mr. Sharp and talking to him and hearing about his days at Garfield. So, Ms. Sharp, thank you. We're here to recognize the Sharp family created a scholarship in honor of their father, who was known as Coach. Coach Bill Sharp was a teacher and coach in Hamilton for 45 years. He was active in the Hamilton Parks and Recreation during that time, as well as a fitness instructor at the Hamilton City YMCA for nearly 20 years, following his retirement from teaching. As a high school and college student, Coach participated in a variety of sports. He was a member of a state championship basketball team in high school and also excelled as a member of the track and baseball teams. As a student at The Ohio State University, he was a member of the track and wrestling team. Coach Sharp graduated from Ohio State in 1928 and moved to Hamilton in 1930, where he spent over 60 years raising his family and impacting the lives of thousands of students and athletes. He was known to everyone as Coach, and his devotion to sports and fitness was overshadowed only by his desire to help people be successful and realize their potential. Coach Sharp strongly emphasized a commitment to academic excellence, competing with honor, and displaying good sportsmanship at all times. Although small in stature, his actions and positive attitude cast a large shadow as a role model for generations of Hamilton youth. The gymnasium at Garfield Middle School is named in his honor, and he was inducted into the Hamilton City Schools Athletic Hall of Fame in 1999. The Coach Sharp Scholarship Award is awarded each year to one senior male student and one senior female student of Hamilton High School. The recipients are chosen on the following criteria. Student must have earned at least 2 varsity letters during their senior year. They must have maintained a minimum of 3.0 cumulative grade point average, must have displayed outstanding sportsmanship during the athletic competition, and the student must display outstanding citizenship through community service. So we chose the scholarship in the spring of the previous year. And this year we are here to recognize Miss Savannah Conrad and Mr. Drew Baker. Savannah was a 4-year varsity letter winner for our girls basketball team, a 3-year varsity letter winner for our girls volleyball, member of the J. Kyle Braid, and the National Honor Society. Currently, Savannah is attending Miami University of Hamilton, and she is majoring in nursing. She didn't want me to say this, but I'm going to say it. She is also a member of the Miami University Hamilton women's basketball team. We're very proud of Savannah. Drew Baker was a 3-year varsity letter winner for football. He also played baseball his freshman and sophomore year, member of the National Honor Society, and also a member of HYPE, the Hamilton Youth Pursuing Excellence, which I know is a big part of our football team. Currently, Drew is attending the University of Cincinnati, and he is majoring in civil engineering. He's also a member of the American Society of Civil Engineering. And as I was telling Mr. Sharp over there, believe it or not, Drew played center on our football team. And I mean, he's not big in stature, but he was a mauler, and he did a fantastic job for 3 years for the Big Blue. So it's with my pleasure and pride to introduce you guys to Drew Baker and Savannah Conrad. And now I invite Mr. Jim Sharp to come and give them their scholarship earnings. Thank you.
All right, how about another round of applause for Andrew and Savannah? Great job. Keep up the good work. All right, a few folks that we need to thank before we get going. 2 in particular that I want to highlight. The Fitton Center for Creative Arts for hosting this event. What a beautiful venue this is, and we are so glad to be here this year. And also the caterers for tonight's event. 2 women in a kitchen. I don't know if they're still in the room, but I'll be honest, I get in the habit of working some of these events throughout the year, and on your calendar, when you start doing some of these, you start marking, okay, this one, make sure I eat before, that way I don't have to eat once I'm there. This was excellent. What a great dinner that was. Really enjoyed that. So thank you to them. We want to thank our donors and contributors who make this event possible each and every year. And if you'll give me just a moment to read through the list of donors and contributors who have helped. Mel Moody Baker, Tay Baker, Jim Blount, Joni Kopis, Bill Dinger, the Hamilton High School National Honor Society, John Jack Garrettson, Bernie Griesinger, Mark Hopkins, Floyd Hopper, George Johnson, Jostens, Life Touch Photography, Ken Merle, Martin New, Jill O'Hara, Marty Phelps, John Ross, John Smith, Otto Swanner, Jeff Tanner, TV Hamilton, who films the event as well, the Sharp family, Jack Young, and Quality Publishing. So how about a round of applause for them as well? Thank you for your support. We also want to take a moment to thank the individuals and groups who helped put this event together in terms of the planning, and that's our committee members. So if the committee members are here, I'm going to ask you to stand. I'll read all the names if you just want to stand as I read your name, and then we'll recognize you at the end. Mel Moody Baker, Tyler Ballou, Wayne Bowling, Todd Grimm, George Johnson, Jerry Lauer, Linda Lehman, Linda Milholland, John Ross, John Wilhelm, Larry Wood, and Jack Young. Let's have a round of applause for all those committee members. And the last group of folks that we'll recognize before we get into the program, we have a number, I believe, of previous inductees to the Hall of Fame and also family members who are here representing someone who may have been inducted. So if you are a previous member or representing a family member who is a member of the Hall of Fame, please stand and let us recognize you at this moment. So glad that you're here with us tonight. All right, let's get into honoring our inductees. Inductees, I just want to point out real quick, when you get up to the stage, you'll want to just come up to the stage right here, stand behind the podium, and then you'll exit here where you get your gift. I understand one of these bags has keys to a new car. Is that right? That was a different event that I was working. I'm sorry. No, we don't have any of those. And the important thing that I want you to remember, okay? Inductees, I need you to make sure that you remember this. When you come up this side of the stage, make sure that you stand directly behind this podium when you're speaking, because we're at a new venue. And if you talk too long, we have built a trap door into the floor. You will drop out and we won't have to listen to you anymore, okay? I'm for real. Don't risk it. That's all I can say. You don't know if I'm kidding or not till the first one goes. Ellen does it on her show. I can do it on mine, okay? All right, our first honoree that we have the privilege of bringing up to the podium from the class of 1992, Chris Callahan. And I'm going to read for just a little bit, so don't stand on the trapdoor just yet. Chris was a two-sport star at Big Blue, participating in both football and wrestling. During his wrestling career, he racked up 113 wins on the mat that included a Greater Miami Conference championship, a sectional championship, 2 district championships, and 2 trips to the OHSAA state tournament where he placed 5th. Chris was the first state placer in Hamilton wrestling history. He was also selected to the All-Butler County team in 1991 and 1992 for wrestling and was a member of the All-State Honorable Mention team in football. Chris earned a degree in drafting and design from ITT Technical Institute and is employed by the City of Hamilton Street Department. Chris also coaches wrestling at Wilson Middle School. He is married to his wife, Crystal, and they have 4 children, Shelby, Ian, Dylan, and Evan. And I want to point out, brother had a mean mustache back in the day. You need to bring that back, my man. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 1992, Chris Callahan. Congratulations.
And that was a mean mustache, I tell you. I want to just say what a great weekend this is. I mean, last night was fantastic. The dinner. This is more than I expected. It's been fantastic. I'm very honored to be a part of this class with a great group of athletes. It's been fantastic. First person I need to thank God. Without him, I wouldn't be here, without a doubt. And all his blessings, which one of those blessings is my beautiful wife, Crystal. Couldn't ask for a better partner, a great family. My daughters Shelby and Jackie, my boys Evan, Dylan, and Ian. Great kids, I'm proud of all of them. I strive every day to make them proud of me as well. Every student athlete has to have great parents, in my opinion. You need parents to take you to practices, to make you do your homework, to teach you how to become a better person. And I definitely had great parents. My mom, Fern, my dad, Dewey, my stepdad, Larry, they did all that and a lot more. They were really great. Athletes also need good coaches. I was fortunate enough to have great coaches. Some of them are here, Coach Menery, Coach Dinger, Coach Mers, just to name a few, were really, really great influences on my life. Just fantastic coaches. And I got one wrestling story to tell. Try to make this a little short. There was an 8th grade student sitting in study hall at Wilson Junior High School, and you know, he'd went out to a couple wrestling practices, not sure if he wanted to keep doing it. And the high school wrestling coach come walking in, Brian Ruby, and you know, I knew who he was, kind of nervous. He come in, called me up. You know, for an 8th grade at Wilson, for the high school coach, that's a pretty big deal. And so he calls me up, kind of gives me a pep talk, talks about how he thinks I have a lot of potential and some other things. And it meant a lot to me. It really made a difference. I ended up going out for wrestling. The next year, as a freshman, I was one match away from qualifying for the state tournament. And that's about when I knew I was right, because I was wearing the blue and white. So, and that's it. Thank you.
Chris, you honored the first rule of Hall of Fame speeches in that you should lead with thanking the big man who brought you into this world and the woman who can take you out of it if you don't thank her. I'm telling you, I love doing these events when the first guy gets up there and you're like, when's he gonna thank his wife? And he never does. And you're like, oh, that is gonna be an awesome car ride home. So, nice work, and a lesson to all the others who will follow. Our next inductee from the class of 2004, Donjanae DeLong. Donjanae earned 12, count them, 12 varsity letters at Big Blue while participating in 3 sports, volleyball, basketball, and softball. She was selected team MVP and second team All-GMC in volleyball, first team All-GMC in basketball, and All-GMC, All-Cincinnati, All-District, and All-State in softball. She continued her softball career at Bowling Green State University, where she was a 4-year contributor for the Falcons. During her sophomore season, she was the only player to play in all 60 games, starting each game at shortstop, where she played every inning of every game. She was named second team All-MAC her junior and senior seasons. She was also named first team Academic All-MAC in 2008, as well as third team Academic All-District by the COSIDA. Donjanae took over the assistant head coach spot at Wright State University for 2 seasons, assistant coach spot, I'm sorry. She was inducted into the Butler County Softball Hall of Fame in 2016. I actually had the pleasure of introducing you there too, and that's where I learned how to say your name properly, so I'm glad we did that. Donjanae is employed by the Hamilton City School District as an elementary physical education teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 2004, Donjanae DeLong.
Congratulations. In case you lose your flyer from tonight, you can ask my dad any of my accolades and he will be able to tell you all of them. Like Chris, I have to thank God and my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for all the gifts that He's given me. He deserves all of the glory in any award that's ever been given to me. For without Him, I am nothing. And it's because of His Son that my greatest rewards wait for me in heaven. I'd like to thank all of the selection committee and the donors that were mentioned. I have to thank my parents and my family and teachers and friends that have led me here today. Many teachers and friends and family I see here, and it's wonderful. So thank you to all of you. I'd like to thank my coaches and teammates. You know, God has given us each different gifts, yet we're all members of one team. We're all members of one body. And it wouldn't have been possible for me to be here today without all of the other girls on the field, all the other girls on the court with me. Jennifer, it's an honor to be inducted with you. Jennifer, you'll hear about her later, a picture. And also another picture, Katie Halcomb, that was inducted within the past few years. And congratulations to all of the other inductees tonight, classmates I've had, friends I had. It's great to see everybody again. I'm a product of all of the people I've been surrounded by. Family, friends, teachers, coaches, teammates. Some have planted seeds in me. Others have watered those seeds throughout my life. And in that planting and watering, I have been allowed to flourish into the person God has intended for me to be. Thank God he's not finished yet, because I have a lot of growing up to do. As I was ending my speech in the fall at the Butler County Softball Hall of Fame, I ended with these questions. Who are you becoming a product of today? Who are you surrounding yourself with to lift you up and encourage you to be the man or woman God intends for you to be? You see, like I said earlier, I'm a product of God and all of the wonderful people God has allowed to help me. One of those people is Robin Michael. She's back there in the back. She was my elementary physical education teacher. I know all of you have one of those teachers that inspired you. She encouraged me to start playing softball, and she played a huge part in me pursuing a degree in phys ed in college. When I was in high school, God had given me the desire to pursue a degree in phys ed and to replace her position at Monroe Elementary, where she had taught me. Well, would you know, I didn't teach at Monroe because it's no longer there, but she went on to Ridgeway, and today I teach at Ridgeway Elementary. I followed in her footsteps, and I'm really proud to have had you as my phys ed teacher. Now I get the chance to plant seeds like she planted in me, and kids like Evan. You see, it goes beyond becoming a product and flourishing. Even after you've flourished, what seeds are you planting and watering? What types of flowers are you helping flourish and become the greatest creation God intends for them to be? I'll leave you with this. If your gift is serving others, serve them well. If you're a teacher, teach well. If your gift is to encourage others, Robin, that was you a lot, be encouraging. If it is giving, give generously. If God has given you leadership ability, take it responsibly. And if you have a gift for showing kindness to others, do it gladly. May you become a greater product of God than any man. And may God bless you, and go Big Blue!
Our next inductee from the class of 1983, Russell Hargraves. Russell Rusty Hargraves earned 3 varsity letters in basketball during his career at Hamilton High School. His sophomore season, he played for fellow Hall of Famer Coach Marvin McCollum. He was also a member of the 1980-81 team that went undefeated during the regular season. He ranks 20th in scoring in Hamilton basketball history with 565 points. His senior season, he was named First Team All-GMC, First Team All-Golden Triangle, and First Team All-District. In addition, Coach Dan Brandenburg selected Rusty as the team MVP of his freshman basketball team. He then took his playing career to the University of North Carolina, Charlotte, where he received a bachelor's degree in liberal arts. Russell and his wife, Christine, reside in Pennsylvania, where he works as a healthcare technology executive. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 1983, Russell Hargraves. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Flying in yesterday, I was thinking about this speech, and I wanted to first say thanks to the committee. It's been about 32 years since I've been here in Hamilton on a regular basis. I fly in about twice a year to see my mom and my sister, so it's tremendous to be home. It's certainly tremendous to be here receiving such an honor, so thanks to the committee for that. I'll echo some of the comments that have been made already. My entire family has always supported me. Without them, I don't think I'd be standing here today, and I think it's important to know that my mom and my dad, like I've heard earlier, all the commitment and all of the sacrifices and the money for all those tennis shoes and those basketball camps weren't cheap, led me to a place in my life where I could earn a scholarship and I could go pursue my dreams, which offered me a tremendous path to where I am today. The foundation of that started here in Hamilton. So when I say this is home, it's always home to me, regardless where in the world I may be, and I do travel quite a bit. But everything I learned about competing started here in Hamilton. And I'm very proud to say that I'm from Hamilton because some in the crowd tonight I competed against from my junior high days to high school, and I think what's really important about Hamilton was what I learned the most is that we're a very competitive group of people, and the bar was always set very high. So when I came in my freshman year, or actually my sophomore year, with that team that had Greg Stokes and Top Cat and all those guys, and we were such a great team, it was a tremendous honor, and they set the bar very high for me, and I continue to think about that every day. So when I'm out working, in the field, or I'm actually in an office setting, I do rely on a lot of the things that I learned here in Hamilton. Secondarily, I'd like to thank all of my coaches, dating back to Mr. Jackson and Mr. Bittinger, who called my dad. I'll never forget it. They called my dad and asked if I could join their team, and it would cost $25 a week. So we could actually rent the gym at Pyrrhus, which is no longer here, as many of you know. And my dad asked me, do you want to play? And I was probably in the 3rd or 4th grade. And it changed my life. And then from there, I had the privilege to play for Dan Brandenburg. I don't know if he's here this evening or not, but certainly somebody who inspired me early in my career. I think taught a lot of us, many in this audience, what it is to be a great person and to commit to something and always practice hard and have a vision. And again, that translates into my current work life. So I take a lot with me every day. And then lastly, of course, having the opportunity to play here for the Big Blue, having a tremendous run for 3 seasons, which set me up for my scholarship and playing in Charlotte, which ultimately changed my life and allowed me to get a college degree. It opened my eyes to a lot of things that probably would have never been presented to me, and it's led me now to working at IBM, where I am happy to say I get challenged every day. And I'll close on this note. When I get challenged in that kind of setting, I always revert back to what I learned here. And that's something to be very proud of. And I'm very honored again to be here this evening. Thank you.
Our next inductee from the class of 2000 is David Huff. David was a 3-year letter winner in the sports of football, basketball, and track and field while at Big Blue. Under fellow Hall of Famer head coach Ed Minery, David played on both sides of the ball, leading the defense with 423 tackles at free safety and linebacker over 3 seasons. David was selected for numerous awards his junior and senior years, including All-GMC, All-Southwest District, All-Cincinnati, All-Butler County, All-SWOFCA, and All-Ohio. David also participated in the prestigious East-West All-Star Game as well as the North-South All-Star Game. During his football career, David earned the title of team captain and also cracked his way into the top 20 on the all-time touchdowns scored list with 12 touchdowns. David was also selected as a member for the All-GMC Honorable Mention team for basketball. He attended Eastern Michigan University on a football scholarship where he played in all 11 games as a true freshman, racking up 73 tackles. During both his freshman and sophomore seasons, David was rated #1 at strong safety in the Mid-American Conference. David lives in Hamilton with his wife, is it Tiara? Okay, just making sure. And his 3 children, David Jr., Riley, and Deja, and he works as a forklift operator. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 2000, David Huff. Congratulations.
I want to thank the other inductees for making it hard for me up here. I'm not a public speaker, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I want to thank God. I want to thank my family, my lovely wife, all my coaches, everybody that pushed me. 3 in particular, Coach Ed Menery, my football coach. He was really the inspiration to a little story. I played as a sophomore, my sophomore year. I was the only sophomore to play. But after that year, Ed Menery pulled me to the side. He told me, he said, you know the only reason you played was because we didn't have nobody else. Yeah, I said, yeah, coach. I understand that. So I used him as an inspiration. Coach Ed Menery, I thank you. I appreciate it. Coach Larry Allen, that was my basketball coach. Keep it down. I'll be nice, I'll be nice. We bumped heads a lot.
Oh, you think so?
We bumped heads a lot, me and you. This was a good guy, real good guy. He pushed me every day, every single, at times I thought he was picking on me. I didn't know what was going on with this guy, but I appreciate it, I really do. My track coach, Coach Skip Taylor, he's not here, but I want to thank him too, because he also pushed me. Another coach was Coach Phillips. Coach Harry Phillips, he actually married me and my wife. He was more like a father figure, like a mentor. I really appreciate him too. Other than that, I want to thank my mom, my biggest critic. After hearing Coach Ed or Coach Larry, I have to go home and hear Coach Mom. And it was rough at times. You know, I would come in, Mom, I had 24 tackles, I did this, I did. She said, yeah, but you missed 6 tackles, you dropped 3 balls. I was embarrassed out there. It was no pleasing her, it really wasn't. My dad, who was, he was the real reason I chose football over basketball. If y'all don't know my dad he's a basketball player, and he's a real good one. So I didn't want to go behind him hearing, oh, you'll never be as good as your dad. So I concentrated on football. So I want to thank him for that. And also my little brother, Derek. That was that was competition every day. If you don't know Derek, it's competition every day. He's a pretty good athlete himself. But I want to thank everybody for coming, and I appreciate this. Thank you.
David, what was that whole not a public speaker thing all about? I do a lot of these things, and that was one of the more entertaining ones. I loved it. Great job. Our next inductee from the class of 2006, Jennifer McKee Dyson. Jennifer dominated in the circle for Big Blue softball, where she accumulated a career pitching record of 62-16, including 38 shutouts and 2 perfect games, earning an ERA of .47 while keeping opposing hitters to just a 108 batting average. She was named, you can clap for that one. I announce baseball, and I can tell you, that's something. She was named First Team All-GMC 3 times, All-Cincinnati 2 times, All-Southwest District 3 times, and First Team All-Ohio twice. She was instrumental in the team's 2006 OHSAA Final Four appearance. She still holds the career strikeout record with 813 in 530 innings pitched. Jennifer continued her softball career for the Evansville Purple Aces, where she obtained a Bachelor's of Science in Visual Communication. For the Purple Aces, she was named to the Auburn Tiger Invitation All-Tournament team, and she was selected for numerous Scholar Athlete Awards. She resides in Evansville, Indiana with her husband, Andrew, where she works as a graphic designer and vice president of Social Life Marketing, LLC, and co-owner of Escape Evansville, LLC. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 2006, Jennifer McKee Dyson. Congratulations.
I'd first like to thank the Hamilton Athletic Department and all those who are involved with my nomination. It's an honor to be included in a list of people with such great achievements and stories and successes. When I got the call about the induction and started to think about this speech, it was really hard for me to sort out all of my great memories that I have from playing for Hamilton to pack in just a few short minutes, so I'm going to do my best, but hopefully this trap door doesn't go. I was fortunate enough to play alongside many great players and even greater teammates, including my fellow inductee, DJ DeLong, who I'm thrilled to be sharing this moment with. And truly, without those teammates, none of this would be possible. Growing up, playing for the Hamilton High varsity team was my #1 goal. From the first pitch I ever threw in my backyard to the first day of tryouts my freshman year, pitching for the Big Blue was the driving factor behind what I was working for. No matter how many great travel teams I played on in the summer, to me, until I was wearing that blue jersey, I hadn't really quite made it. It wasn't just about representing my school, but it was about representing the city of Hamilton. And I think that the best story that I have of describing this feeling and why it meant so much to me to have been a part of the Hamilton High softball program comes from my senior season when we made it to the Final Four. And many of you might not know, but my senior year team may not have been as experienced as the previous teams I played for at Hamilton, but we had an overwhelming chemistry and just this scrappy attitude, and we were just determined that we were going to go to state that year and that there wasn't anyone that was going to stop us. And the best part about it is the entire school, the entire city, everyone that we knew was just as excited and determined as we were to be on the journey with us. I remember above the cafeteria, the school hung a Road to State banner, and they would put up a big letter H with the score of the game after every tournament game that we won. And it just seemed like every day the whole school couldn't wait for the next H to be hung up. In the regional semifinal, we were 2 games away from winning state, and turned out we would face Lakota East. And it was the same Lakota East that we had beaten easily twice that whole season. The first time we played them, I had thrown a no-hitter, and the second time, I threw a perfect game with 17 strikeouts. So we never overlooked any opponent, but going into this game, we felt confident and just as good as we had all season. To fully appreciate the story, you have to know that at some point during the season, we started the tradition of singing on the bus on the way to the games, and it wasn't just singing, it was a set ritual, and we had set songs and specific people who would sing parts of the song and even some choreography, and everybody had their part to join in on. And it eventually got to the point that we had to make a rule for ourselves that we wouldn't start singing until our bus got to 75, because if not, we were all hoarse by the time we got to where we were going. And the main song, for some reason, was Build Me Up Buttercup. And it was such a big thing that it somehow became the song that everyone knew. From teachers to parents to fans, everyone knew that Build Me Up Buttercup was our song. And one time, The Office even had us sing it to start the morning announcements, as strange as that is. And during our send-off to the state tournament, I remember the whole school came out and sang it to us as we boarded the bus to go to state. So it may not be the typical pump-up song for most people, but in some crazy way, it just kind of brought all of us together. So back on the road to regionals against East, we boarded the bus, hit the road, sang our hearts out, started the game just like every other time we had done it that season. But long story short, we found ourselves down 5-4 in the top of the 7th, with Lakota East threatening to score again and just feeling like the game was slipping away from us. And that day, our momentum was off, our chemistry was off. We were all just, everyone on the team was having a bad game at the worst time, and we just couldn't do anything to stop it. And right as we felt like the nail was in the coffin, we're about ready to go home, just all of a sudden lightning strikes and a huge storm system rolls in the top of the 7th inning, 2 outs, top of the 7th. And it was enough that it postponed the game, which means we had to come back to Hamilton and then drive back up to Dayton the next day to finish the final inning. And I remember going home that day knowing that my high school career was over. And I remember the sense of just sadness and defeat that I hadn't felt the whole year. And the next day at school, it felt like the whole school felt it with me. It was just a very somber day. And even though we hadn't given up all hope, we all kind of knew that it was going to take a miracle to pull this one out and reach our goal. So back up on the road today and the next day, the bus was quiet. There wasn't anything. No one was even talking. We were all just looking straight ahead. But right as we got to 75, I don't remember who it was. It could have been either Mimi Mahan or Tracy Ryder, but very softly just started singing Build Me Up Buttercup. Not out loud. You couldn't really even hear. But I'll never forget, the whole bus kind of all slowly sat up and we started looking at each other. And one by one just kind of started joining in the lyrics. And I can't explain it, but it was like somebody flipped a switch and all of a sudden we just felt this sense of urgency that we had to win this game. And we felt all of the support and energy that we had been given from everybody that whole season. And we just knew that we can do it. And in a dramatic, miraculous twist of fate that until then I thought only happened in sports movies, we came back and somehow won in the bottom of the 7th inning against all odds. And we went on the next game to beat Fairfield in the regional final in what will always be my favorite softball moment in my life. It was a huge GMC rivalry. The stands were packed to the max all the way around the field. I remember it was a pitcher's battle. It was tied 0-0 all 7 innings, and then we ended up winning in the 8th inning with a home run, and it was just an awesome game that I still just get chills thinking about, my favorite game of my career. And in the moment that I threw the final strike to end that game to put us to the Final Four, I remember looking up and seeing just a sea of blue shirts, and it felt like the entire city of Hamilton was there cheering with us for reaching that goal. And I realized then that I couldn't ever replicate the feeling, no matter where or who I played for. It was the feeling that I dreamt about as a little girl pitching in my backyard, and it's why of all of the jerseys that I've worn in my life, I am most proud to have worn the one that says Big Blue. I can't leave here without thanking all my teammates and coaches who have been part of my softball journey. First of all, thank you to fellow Hall of Famer Linda Milholland, who taught me everything I know about pitching from day one all the way through high school, and even sometimes in college when I came home for breaks. Thanks to Coach Steve Heckman, Darren Stevens, and Todd Isgro, along with several other Hamilton staff members through the years who helped me grow, and as far as I can remember, never once complained about having to endure our bus ride karaoke performances. I'd like to thank all of my family who have come tonight, some who traveled several hours to be here. I am honored to be joining my great uncle Woody Herzog in the Hall of Fame, and I'm humbled that so many of my family members are here to be a part of this moment. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my parents, Brian and Terry, for the countless hours spent at games, lessons, practices, and traveling to ball fields literally all over the world. They've been my biggest supporters, at times my toughest coaches, but always my favorite fans. Thank you all again for the support and for the memories and for giving me the opportunity to pitch for the Hamilton High Big Blue.
Our next inductee from the class of 2005, Adam Myers-White. I'm almost hesitant to let anybody who's dressed better than me stand up on this stage next to me.
You got me beat, man.
No, look at this.
Cut it out, brother.
Go ahead, give it a walk. See? Look, he's got the look down and everything. He knew he came to play. This is good. All right. Adam participated in football, basketball, and track and field while in high school. On the football field, Adam was a key member of the Big Blues defense. He was selected first team All-GMC, first team All-Cincinnati, first team All-Southwest, and first team All-Ohio. He was also selected to play in the United States Army All-American game. Adam was ranked as a preseason All-American and was labeled the #2 free safety in the country by a little station called ESPN. On the basketball court, under the direction of fellow Hall of Famer head coach Larry Allen, Adam helped lead the Big Blue to a state championship, earning first team All-GMC, first team All-Cincinnati, first team All-Butler County, second team All-Southwest, and honorable mention All-State along the way. He was also named the Butler County Basketball Player of the Year in 2004. He was also a member of the track and field 4x400 meter relay team that qualified for the state tournament in 2004 as well. Adam also graduated in the top 20 of his class at Hamilton. Adam then played football at the University of Tennessee. Go Vols. Oh.
I'm sorry.
Just glad he didn't wear that orange.
Fair enough.
We should play Rocky Top when you come up next time. It would have been nice.
Yeah.
I'm a Kentucky fan, so I'm just going to stand over this.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah. All right, upon graduating from Tennessee with a degree in exercise science, Adam pursued 1 year of master's programs before entering medical school, where he's currently in his 3rd year at IUPUI, also in the top of his class. He's more than just a good-looking suit. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 2005, Adam Myers-White.
Excellent.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm just so happy to be right now. There's not a lot of doctors in the audience. I don't feel too much pressure up here right now, thinking about what kind of questions I'm going to ask after the presentation. So thank you. First off, I'd like to thank God, man, the Heavenly Father above. With him, like our state motto, all things are possible, and you see a product of that right now. So have to thank him. Definitely appreciate everyone coming out tonight. It's a joyous occasion. It's wonderful to see all the faces I hardly get to see. I see Ms. Sullivan today, my first grade teacher at Jefferson Elementary School. That no longer stands, what saddens me, but hey, that's how it goes. It was a pleasure seeing her, and this is a marvelous sight to see all my Hamilton people that saw me from knee high into an adulthood and didn't know what my future was, but believed in me so much. First of all, I'd like to thank the committee, the selection committee, for nominating me and selecting me as well. Congrats to all the inductees. Great accomplishment. So before the trap door falls underneath me, let's get right to the thank you, everybody. As you know, as Don Janae says, we're a product of this city. We're a product of everywhere. And like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. And Hamilton was my village that raised me. And that table right there, I'm trying not to get emotional, but yeah. You see from ground zero, started with my brother, my best man. Instilled the toughness. You know, when you get beat up by teenagers as a child, you get tough really quick. I love you, man. Pop, man, the lessons I get from him is one of a kind. You know, always trust God and be your own man. And it took a while to figure that out, but that's what undergrad is for. And I love my pop. I talk to him every day. He's a great guy. Thanks, Pop. And like Don Janae, he knows all my stats too. I didn't know of either. My aunt, my best fan, my favorite. Wonderful, wonderful lady. And the one that holds it all together. Woo! I'm gonna make it, I promise. Bonnie Joe. Everybody knows Miss Bonnie Joe. Derek Huff, you know Bonnie Joe too, don't you, brother? Yeah. All right. That's my best friend. The discipline to get through medical school, to get through high school, and be successful, it comes from her. She's a great disciplinarian. I didn't like it a lot of the times, but as an adult, I couldn't be more grateful than for anything else in the world. She put me in the right environments to succeed. And as a youngster, that's all you can ask for is a chance. She gave me that. I love you, Mom. Woo, that was tough. All right, y'all can clap on that one. Okay, that is the anchor to this village. And I've been put in the right places, and I see a lot of faces here that help me go along. As far as my athletic career, I like to start from everybody from top to bottom. Without them, you will never know who I am. Starting with Layman Dixon, who got me started in the Hamilton Fairfield League. Starting with the DeLong family here, Don Janae's family. Danny, Don Jean, I appreciate you guys. They got me started. The Howards. Ooh, this is tough. They got me prepared for real life. You know, spiritually, high school, got me ready for dealing with this guy right here, Coach Allen. To Tom Rainey, he's here. Thank you, T. Those are my baseball people. So I did play a little baseball, but not good enough to make it to the big leagues, as you can tell. And Steve Smith, he's not here. He was my little blue football coach. Thank God he let me play running back and not be the center on the O-line. That wouldn't have been too well. And then Coach Kaluser, who I didn't see him today. He was the football coach through high school, and he really taught me how to continue to maintain your character through adversity. We didn't win a lot of games while I was here in football, but you learn what life is about and how to overcome trials and tribulations really quickly. And I think that was a big part of how I'm dealing with med school, because you have challenges, such an emotional roller coaster, and those lessons from back then I still carry throughout my career. And the big guy here, Mr. Coach Allen, my basketball coach. Sophomore year, Coach Reed, Coach Reed was my freshman coach coming up, and I just like David Huff. We butt heads too, man. You got that too? And we butt heads early, and every day. We butt heads early, and Coach Reed, man, he was really my psychologist, and he calmed me down. Hey, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. He calmed me down and allowed Coach Allen to actually coach me, man. And Coach Allen's a great guy, and we brought the big one home. We brought the big one home over 50 years, and all of the spit showers at the beginning. I'm gonna tell that story. So I played with his son Billy Allen, and I'm the dummy that sits real close at halftime because Coach Allen, he has what we call the spit showers. If you sit too close, you're gonna get drenched. It took me a while to learn my lesson, but his son used to cover me with a towel, so I love Billy for that. But it all worked out, and like I said, we brought the big one. And I wish we would have gotten with you, John, man. We played a lot of overtime game that year, but really wanted all 3 years to be great. And to talk about my career as far as a medical student, it's been a roller coaster ride, and it should be, taking care of patients. I've always wanted to represent Hamilton really, really well. If you know me, I don't claim Cincinnati. I'm from Hamilton. A lot of my friends know that. I give them the direction. So, you know, we might be small town people, but you can have big dreams, and I'm a living proof of that. And being in medical school, I have a lot of mentees, and then I mentor a lot of people. Even especially in Hamilton is the biggest for me. Dreaming big as you can dream, because dreams really do come true. If you go with a plan and the goals, the small goals become greater goals, and you become what you want to be. You can become a doctor, lawyer, whatever it is, an astronaut if you want to. And just know, just because you're from Hamilton, you're still capable. And I try to be a living motivation for that. And my niece there, she motivates me. She doesn't know that, but whew, that's tough. I can't talk about your guys anymore. God, my niece, she's a sophomore at Northern Kentucky University, And I'm a first college graduate, and she's following my footsteps, and it makes me go. Damn, y'all could have told me I was gonna get this emotional. Goodness. Okay. And, I know I'm a cookie, you know that. And teachers, as I mentioned, Ms. Sullivan, it was great to see her, but some people just stick out. And Coach Allen's wife, Miss Melanie Allen. Woo. I didn't know it was gonna be this hard. Okay. Yeah, me and Miss Allen, we have what we call an ESP connection. You know, we just have this thing. She was my Algebra 2 teacher as a sophomore. She's been my academic disciplinarian and a spiritual growth that she's given me, and she sees how I walk every day. It pushes me. She pushes me to be great in everything I do. And I love the care packages. I still love those. And I just wanted to say 2 things about her. I have a promise to keep, and I have 1 more year till I graduate. And all she ever wanted, she was a zoology major, and all she ever wanted to do was become a doctor, but she's became a teacher, and like Don Janae, she was one of those seeds for me. But all she wants to do is shadow me in my office when I graduate. I promise I'm gonna give you that, for sure. And lastly, we had this concept on the basketball team about going the distance in 2004. And Coach Allen played the song for us, and we all got a little teary-eyed like I am right now. And we knew it was gonna happen before it even happened. And today, going the distance is all I think about with everything I do. And it motivates me every single day. And like we say, Coach Allen, I'm gonna get through this, I promise. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. Thank you.
Adam, I have to say, I am good friends with Kim Nuxall. Kim and I have become friends ever since I started announcing for the Hamilton Joes, named after his father. And if any of you, I hope Kim sees this on TV Hamilton, if any of you have ever worked an event with Kim, we all take bets on the side as to how quick he's going to start crying, because he's just an emotional guy. And one of the things he's always told me is that it's good to see a grown man cry. And I'll be honest with you, it's good to see a grown man who's a doctor cry. And thank you for sharing. Our next inductee from the class of 1988, Maurice Riggins. Maurice Mo Riggins was a key contributor on the Big Blue basketball team under fellow Hall of Fame member head coach John Smith. During his career, he was nominated to the first team All-GMC, second team All-Southwest District, and the All-State Honorable Mention team. Maurice was also selected to participate in the Ohio vs. Indiana All-Star Game. Maurice was known for his intense defense and shot blocking abilities, as well as his above-the-rim offensive game where he slammed down thundering dunks. During his senior year, he scored 419 points. Maurice resides in Cincinnati with his wife, Christina, where he works in community services. He has 4 children, Jasmine, Taylor, Callie, and Reese. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 1988, Maurice Mo Riggins.
For starters, I'd like to say it's a little unfair. I think we should have went with Adam White instead of Adam Myers White. So following this guy, I'm like, wow, that was an amazing speech, Adam, awesome. Before I go, I'd like to say, looking over here to my right, a buddy of mine, Mr. Mark Lewis. A lot of you guys know Mr. Lewis. We go back probably 11, 12 years old. I've known this guy. Awesome friend. I love you, brother. So First of all, I'd like to say what an honor it is to be standing here tonight receiving this induction. I'm truly honored. But before I go any further, there are some people who I'd like to recognize for allowing this night to happen. For starters, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, all the members on the committee who assisted in voting me in. Mr. Butch Marhefka, Mr. Tim Anderson, I want to say to all of you, and also Coach John Smith, it's truly an honor to be standing here tonight receiving this induction. I also like to say thank you to my family and friends who are here this evening. Thank you guys for sharing this evening with me. I appreciate it. Recently, I was afforded the opportunity to receive one-on-one instruction from my priest about the importance of doing God's will. We met every Sunday after Mass for 1 hour, which lasted approximately 1 year. During that time, my priest shared with me the importance how God gives us each our own cross to carry. So once you accept God's will, you start to realize your purpose in life. So I knew God had a purpose for me, but I didn't realize exactly what that was. So as I began to read more and surround myself with more amazing people, a great quote from Mr. William Shakespeare stood out to me. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. I now realize that my gift from God is to serve others. See, when you properly serve others, you motivate them to become the best that they can be, not who you want them to become. So in order to be truly effective with motivating someone, you have to involve them in the process. I learned this from my experiences with my kids. For the life of me, I couldn't understand when I told my son to do things, he would forget. Or occasionally when I asked my daughters to do something, they wouldn't really understand what I was saying. Then it came to me. They weren't involved. So if I tell you, you'll forget. If I show you, you might remember. But if I involve you, you'll understand. I thank God for placing me under the tutelage of a wonderful and understanding mother, great relatives and friends, awesome kids. I love you guys. And I've been recently blessed to find the love of my life, my wonderful and beautiful Panamanian princess, Christina. Christina has helped me learn how to carry my cross. She's not only an awesome teacher, awesome coach, she's also an amazing friend who's also inspired me to become a better human being all around. I thank you for that, Christina. Tengo la mejor esposa. Ella es bonita, inteligente y trabajadora. Te amo mucho, Christina. Llegamos. Before I go, I'd like to leave you with something tonight. If there's any of you out here tonight who are struggling to find your way, help doesn't always come in the form of money. Often it only takes someone to believe in you. From there, the sky's the limit. So if there's anything that I can do to assist you in achieving your goals, whether it's with life skills, job preparation, school, or even sports, don't hesitate to contact me. If I can't personally assist you, we'll find the necessary resources that can. So I challenge each and every one of you tonight that are in a position to make an impact on someone's lives. Don't hesitate to get involved. This world needs you. Thank you and God bless.
Our next inductee from the class of 2003 is John Smith. And John's got quite the fan club. Man. I don't know how much you had to pay those people, but keep it coming. I'm getting ready to read for you. John was a member of the Big Blue basketball team under the direction of fellow Hall of Famer head coach Larry Allen. John garnered the attention of many for his versatile style of play. This attention earned him recognition on the All-GMC teams, all Butler County teams, and all Cincinnati teams. He was also selected to the All-State team in 2003 after being crowned the Greater Miami Conference and the Butler County Player of the Year in 2003. John was also a McDonald's All-American nominee, and he participated in the Ohio North vs. South All-Star Game in 2003. He then took his basketball career to Rollins College, where he played with fellow Athletic Hall of Fame member Nate Rusbassen. For those of you who weren't here last year, I had to relive the awful memory. They've already taken all your knives away. I made sure they did that. I do announce for Hamilton High School, but I am a graduate of Fairfield High School. I have to plug that at some point. That begs the question, how desperate were y'all for an announcer, right? I mean, come on. Woo. But, yeah, can't play, but get a mic in front of us, we're okay. But Nate Rusbassen delivered the dagger to my heart as an 8th grader when he made a shot from Middletown that ended up going in, winning the game. I will never forget, Nate. Never. You too, John. You're part of this.
I'm not going to end this.
I know. While at Rollins College, his teams earned conference championships 3 times, made the Sweet 16 once, and an Elite 8 appearance as well. John currently lives in Westchester, Ohio with his wife, Brittany, a former Big Blue cheerleader, and their, yes, go cheerleaders, right? And their 4 children, Kaya, JJ, Quentin, and Adeline. John is employed by Frito-Lay as a district manager. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 2003, John Smith.
Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm not going to cry. At least I don't know yet. But no, first off, I want to say congrats to everyone, especially Adam and David as being former teammates of mine. I'm really happy for you guys. Also, thank you to Hamilton, the city of dreams. But thank you for this nomination. I really do appreciate it. You guys have done more than you know. As a city, as a school, you guys have always been there for me. To my teammates, coaches, everybody, this wouldn't be possible without you guys. The times that we had at Hamilton, from the dog pound to the sweat box. About the sweat box, I just heard Coach Allen turn the heat up during home games. I didn't find that out till this morning, but it was a pleasure being here. I mean, I'm very thankful for this. I'm humbled by it. I'll be remiss if I didn't mention these special people in my life. As many of you know, I was raised by my grandmother. Adam, you were right. It is get a little emotional when you talk about it. But my grandmother, man, she was a special lady. Man, no, my grandmother, sorry. Well, Adam, you were right, man. But no, my grandmother, I mean, she raised me. Granted, I didn't come out of the greatest situations, but my grandmother was always there. I had my Aunt Dana, I had my Aunt Micah, all my other aunts, but you guys have always been there for me since the beginning, coming here and whatnot. So, especially my Aunt Dana, I appreciate that. And my Aunt Micah, I mean, my Aunt Micah's no longer here as well, but man. But yes, I value everything that you guys instilled in me, and I live every day to make sure I don't disappoint you guys. Coach Allen, you told me a long time ago that you didn't have favorites. Well, I got a favorite. Out of my bosses, anybody, you are my favorite coach, my favorite boss that I ever had. I didn't have the problems that Adam and David had. But I appreciate everything you did to me, and I value the relationship that we have this day. I really do. Thank you, Coach. Nate Dogg, my guy, my big brother. I mean, I've told you how many times, thank you this weekend for just being here, but dude, I value everything that we do together, man, and I appreciate the relationship that we have now. Sorry. Tammy and Daryl, I thank you guys. You guys showed me, you guys motivated me to where I need to be and the father that I need to be to my children. Daryl, just the relationship that we have, I appreciate it, man. Tim, Josh Timler, he took me to high school every day. Sophomore year, made me listen to country music. Never heard it before in my life. Every day.